My name is Ted Bahr, and I own the Bahr Gallery, Oyster Bay, New York. The Bahr Gallery is the only art gallery in the country that specializes in late 1960s psychedelic rock posters. These are the original, vintage, first printing concert posters that were typically made to advertise the concerts and sell tickets to them. I graduated from high school in 1976, which means I missed the 60s, and that's why I revere them. So it's always been a topic of interest to me, the late 1960s utopian period where it was thought that peace and love could actually change the world. And the artwork of the times and the music of the times, and let's face it, the drugs of the times, they were all part of my college experience and briefly after college as well. In 1983, I moved out to San Francisco and I lived there for 15 years. And while I was in San Francisco, I used to go to the Postomat with my friends and we would buy postcards, sometimes a poster, but we loved the psychedelic poster art. We would typically write postcards to our friends back east about the wild, warring Pacific night, and that's basically what my collection consisted of at that point. In 1999, we moved to Long Island, and I quit my big corporate job and started my own company called BZ Media, which published high-tech publications and produced conferences and trade shows. After about 10 years, we moved to large office space in Melville, and I realized we had long hallways and conference rooms, and I said, wow, I can start collecting this art that I love and just put it in my office space, and I won't bother my wife. So I began collecting, and at that point, I also started writing a history of the posters and the period, because I realized that my millennial employees didn't have any idea about the Summer of Love or any of that. So I basically built it into a museum and the offices of BZ Media. And I had an opening, 45 people came and my friends, and they loved it. I had no idea that I would ever do this. But sure enough, 2 years later, I sold the company. And all of a sudden I had 45 framed posters that were not coming home. So at that point I began casting about for what I was going to do next. And I finally realized, and my wife actually suggested at one point, she said, well, why don't you open an art gallery? And I was like, I'm not sure she was that serious at that when she said that, but that's what I wound up doing. The Bahr Gallery is really a step back in time. And we try to make it, even though it is a gallery and everything here is for sale, I kind of operate it as a museum. And there's nothing I like more than having people come in and have an interest in the posters and to be able to tell you some of the wonderful stories behind it and interesting, amazing stories behind this artwork. It's very unique and really reflective of a unique period in American history where, again, it was a utopian, the age of Aquarius. It was a time that many people are nostalgic for and frankly wish that there was a lot more of that hope and optimism and creativity and adventure today. I love the music from the late 1960s. I think it was the best music, the most interesting music that was made. And I also love bright colors, and I love the psychedelic effect. I certainly understand what psychedelics will do. And not these days, but from my past. And it was always a period that I thought was fascinating in human history. I mean, it was a time of great change and cultural change that was going on just everywhere. Hair was getting longer, skirts were getting shorter. You had civil rights movement. You had, after Kennedy was shot, the baby boom generation was, they thought, I mean, all bets were off at that point. I mean, this was their president. And so the 60s was just a time of incredible cultural change and with the backdrop of the horrible war in Vietnam. And I just find it infinitely fascinating. The gallery is certainly a passion project. It's my retirement job, and it's my hobby and it's my passion. But the wonderful thing about pursuing a passion is that I might be putting in lots of hours here, but none of it is work. It's all joy. It's all fun. And when I started, my wife is fond of telling people that, yeah, he went to like 6 art galleries and he opens one himself. But what she doesn't realize is that when I was at those art galleries, I was taking notes and I was studying. And so I am really proud of the Bahr Gallery and what we do here and how we do it. And really it is driven by the passion, and everything is pretty much on brand, very amusingly. We have little buttons that we give away. We have lots of postcards, lots of swag, things like that. But I highly recommend it if there's anything that you really care about, especially for a second act. I mean, you have to put bread on the table, but if you're fortunate enough in your second act to have some retirement cushion to be able to pursue your passion, really think through what makes you excited and see if there's some way that you can do it.